Hello everyone, my name is Isaac, and as one of the pastors at Willingdon Church, I have the privilege of sharing a devotional with you. Today I want to encourage us all with Matthew chapter 11 verses 28 to 30, where Jesus gives us an invitation. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. In these unprecedented times, one of the things I've realized, and I'm sure you have too, is how quickly the world can get unhinged. To think that when we all celebrated the start of 2020, we had no idea that in a matter of months, the world would be asked to stay at home, to physically distance ourselves from others, and to not visit even our family and friends. That the Canadian-US border would be closed, that millions would lose their jobs and businesses, and that we wouldn't even be able to gather as a church. These things have all hit us in different ways. The things we took for granted, the things we found security in, the things that gave us a sense of control are all slipping through our hands. And the reality is that many of us have started to become weary and burdened. As we find ourselves weary and burdened, Jesus invites us to come to Him. He promises rest for our souls if we turn to Him. We may ask, how can my soul be rested if I'm worried and anxious about my future, and I'm struggling to keep things together? The Lord's promise for rest for our souls is not a promise that we will not experience loss or hardship, that somehow we will be immune to the troubles of this world. No, rather, it is an invitation to us to entrust to Jesus all the troubles of my world. In verse 27, just before our passage, Jesus declares that all things have been handed over to Him by the Father. And if we are finding ourselves weary and burdened, could it be that we are not handing all things in our own lives over to Jesus? That we are actually struggling against the truth that all things really have been handed over to Him? I'm reminded of what I consider one of the most powerful scenes for me in the movie Titanic. No, it's not the scene where Jack and Rose are standing over the bow of the ship. It's the scene when everyone was scrambling to save themselves. But the string quartet chose to play the hymn, Nearer My God to Thee. Though it was not stated in the movie, I'm sure the musicians were disciples of Jesus. They were not immune to what was happening around them. They were in the same situation as everyone else. But what separated them from the crowd was that they had rested souls that allowed them to not fret, worry, and come undone. It gave them the capacity to respond to their situation differently. This morning, I want to extend Jesus' invitation to all of us who are weary and burdened, to come to Jesus and to remember that He is in control, so that in the midst of our troubles, we may find rest for our souls. And in this, may we be set apart as Christ's witnesses to the world.